Howdy, partners. Well, it's report card day. I called the pharmacy yesterday, and they assured me that they would have it filled today. I do not see it on the website as far as my volume is concerned. But here, this will be boring, I'm sure, because it takes me long. It would take me a shorter time to count out these pills if, yeah, if I didn't put them in the cap. But I'm gonna put them in the cap because of the dust issue. So, as they used to say on Wheel of Fortune, big money, big money, big money. Go for that high number. See how I did. Plus, some of them are halves. 2, 5. Whoops, there goes one that's underneath me. 8, 9. 11. 13. 18. This is where it gets tricky. 20 and a half. I've been cutting them in halves. 23 and a half. What did I have? 27 and a half. 29 and a half. 29 and 4 is 33. 33 and 5. I think that was a half. 33 and a half. I just. Alright, I have a lot of pills left over. Can we just leave it at that? I don't know. It's. Okay, let's call it what I counted in there on the conservative side, 33. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. The half that threw me off. So that would be well over 40 pills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that'd be over 40 pills. And last month I had 34 left over. So where's that one? Put that over there. I should let it roll on the computer. Ugh. I definitely paid for it. Yeah, that's about 50% that I got in the bottle because I started out with 90. So definitely, like, I felt it, and yeah, yeah, it's been rough to do anything, get anything done. You know, just apparently it's rough to string thoughts together this morning, but I really don't feel good right now. I guess that's good that I'm taking halves now, and you know, going through the benzo blues. I mean, it's something. I wasn't really getting anything accomplished. So, um, yeah, I suppose I shouldn't like try to even use my brain currently since it's not working. I can't count pills, but it's tricky counting them in that cap because my fingers are too fat to reach them out. And if I spread them out on something, then I'll have all this. You know how pills are, especially when you cut them. I'll have all this dust that just gets wasted. And you know, I got dust on my fingers right now. I will not lick my finger. I just smelled my fingers on camera, so what the hell? Goddamn idiot. And I looked the part, but yeah, you can taste it has a certain taste to it and smell to it. Uh, anyways, yeah, my stomach hurts. I'm hungry. The same old crap every day. I walked around on my legs some, which it's good advice to exercise in bed. I believe Cindy told me to do that. Just move around in bed, like an invalid stuff. But I find that too depressing. So I try to get up and move around, and my leg don't like that very much. I still believe that the dude injured my leg on September 22nd, and there was no way to prove that. And if it was the Old West, I should have the right to go back there and rifle butt him in the face. But it's not the Old West, and I have no way to prove that this guy injured my leg, and I was complicit in it because I was too stupid to say, don't touch my leg. You don't even know how to put uh, the acronym to my disease in the right order. You just called it CPRS, it's CRPS. You don't know anything about it. Don't touch me. Physician's aid. So, physician, I mean, before September 22nd, I was walking around here like exercising and stuff. Now, any walking I do on my leg since September 22nd, my leg reacts violently toward it. It's swollen up right now, and I'm not doing anything. If I laid around as much as I was laying around before September 22nd, I'd have no swelling. But swollen up, and I'm just gradually turning into a statue as far as my legs are concerned and flexibility. When I wait for my coffee to get done and stuff, I just sit there and I try to lift my legs up as high as I can, you know, for the purposes of putting on pants. So yeah, and I'm estranged from this one person, and I've been getting kind of reports about what's going on with this particular person, and they got my food card, so I don't, you know, they're very volatile. I don't want to just call them up and tell them like they're always looking for like motives behind things. Just tell them like you just throw it in the mailbox anytime. It doesn't matter. Just if the money's not going to be being spent off of the card, I figure I might as well look at y'all. I don't like looking at myself, but yeah, if the money is going to be spent off of the card, um, is not going to be spent off of the card and transferred into cash. I might as well spend it myself and try to experiment with my diet and find some kind of food that maybe aids my digestion. Maybe I can, I don't know, start watching what I eat like very carefully because of my issues. Um, yeah, this thing is not that bad right here on my face, but yeah, I don't even know what it is or what it started as or whatever. But yeah, as long as it's not one of them lesion things, I'm cool. Must have been some kind of adult acne or something like that. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I don't. My legs all fucked up, so I don't like do proper hygiene. I mean, I shaved yesterday, but I mean it's a struggle for me to do any goddamn thing. Uh, and today I have to talk to this another person from CareSource for some damn reason. I just got done talking to somebody named Michelle. They switched me from somebody named Chris to somebody named Michelle, and now they're switching me to somebody named Kelly. And it's like I just talked to Michelle. Why do I need to talk to you again? It's like because they don't. Um, they call it like an interview. They have like intervals where they interview you for this CareSource insurance. And it's like I just talked to this person. I know there's no reason for me to talk to this person. I know they're going to nag me about finding a doctor, and I do need to do that. And I found out that like if I take off my glasses, my eyes are so bad I can't really see uh, whatever that thing is on my face or anything like that. So who gives a fuck? But anyways, it's like why am I talking to this person? And I know they're going to nag me and ask me the same stupid fucking questions, and life is very annoying. And I don't like it this morning. There, I said it. And yeah, as far as like where I'm gonna head with the benzo thing, I don't know. Some days it's like some days I take 2.5 doses. Some days I take three. 2.5 doses. I don't remember the last time I took a whole pill. All my halves are used up except for two. I noticed when I was counting them. Um, I guess this is kind of a bright spot. Is like when I called the pharmacy, I asked them some questions yesterday, and they said that after this refill I'm going to get tomorrow, I got three more refills. Because I was asking them about this other prescription that my doctor called in, and they were like, "We're going to use your old prescription first," which means they have it on file. And I was like, "Well, when I call like next month, I'll have the RX number for you." She's like, "That's fine." And I looked it up on the computer, and it says three refills on it. So that's basically like 5 months worth of pills for me now with the amount that I'm taking. So, whatever. I guess I'm set up there. Still doesn't mean like whatever damage benzos has done to me, or you know the irritability thing will go back to normal, or my health will improve, or anything like that. I still have to quit taking them. As planned, I'm still stuck in this place. And here's something that's really screwed up: is like I deliberately, well, both landlords, my previous landlord that I had years ago, and this other landlord, right? Uh, so my current landlord is the other landlord. But Gerald and this other guy were talking about how expensive this roach poison was that I had, and the previous landlord gave it to me, and I was like, "Yeah," I showed it to Gerald, and Gerald was like, "That stuff's really expensive," and he said it twice. And my previous landlord said, "Yeah, it's expensive because it works," and by God, it does work, but he didn't give me that much of it. And so I used it up, and then I didn't bother to look it up or buy it because I was thinking it cost like 80 to $100. It cost fucking 19.99 on eBay. So I'm like, oh, I'll pay a little more and get one from Ohio because they're beating me. The roaches are beating me. So I'll get the poison from Bay Village, Ohio. And then the mail is so iffy nowadays because of the Corona thing. You don't know when you're going to get your shit or if you're going to get your shit. So I was like, yeah, from Ohio. No, according to the information, they say that they're from Ohio, but the stuff is getting shipped from California. It's not going to be here for like a long time. It's like, yeah, like, what am I going to do in the meantime? And then this worked at other places that I've lived at. I don't know if the roach traps themselves are defective or what. The roach motel things. Maybe they're so old that the glue is inside them isn't sticky anymore because they're like the flea traps and other like bug traps. They use the La Brea tar pits method of pest control, which is the bug gets stuck. It's all based off of the fly strip, the sticky fly strips that have been around for 100 plus years. It's like bugs get stuck, like they land on the fly strip. They don't fly off. They go into the what was the old commercial? Roaches check in to the roach motels, but they don't check out. Well, none of them are checking in, and none of them are checking out apparently, because I told you like they were all concentrated in my bathroom cabinet, and I was like, oh, I got them. There's actually were still sealed up in the original, not only the original packing, so they couldn't dry out, but they were sealed up in like I never opened them when I got them in the mail because I used the previous ones and they didn't work. That and so I bought off of two different companies, and like had two shipments, so they're still in like like I just got them in the mail yesterday, but they've been around here for a long time. And anyways, I think from the first infestation when Stampy brought roaches into the building. But anyways, point being is like I said that was like the epicenter of roachdom around here is in my bathroom cabinet because I opened up the bathroom cabinet that one day and I never get anything out of it. And I was like, holy crap, this is like a horror movie. I didn't even jump or anything like that, but there was at least 30 roaches crawling around all in there. And I was like, well, they must have a nest behind here. Unless this is the actual nest. I mean, I don't know. But anyways, so I put like, there's three shelves in there, so I put a roach motel on each shelf, and then I put a fourth roach motel on top of the whole cabinet because there's like a space between the mirror and the wall. Nothing. I got nothing. I was like, that's not even possible, you know. And like, I checked the traps and stuff, and then I reached in this little corner, and it's got like some old razor blades. And I moved the razor blades around, and there's like, I don't know, like 10 roaches hiding underneath the razor blades. And I like scared one of them deliberately toward the roach motel, and it ran underneath it instead of inside it. It's like, do I have to actually catch a bug and throw it in there? Hold the hold the side, get stuck. You know, I didn't test it with my finger. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why, but there's nothing in those traps. It's like there's so many roaches in there. They have to be crawling in there because, fuck, I don't know if that's. Anyways, um, I'm worried about it taking like 2 weeks for that shit to get here from California. And in the meantime, it's like they're just having a party out there. And then I worry about them getting into other people's apartments and that causing like interaction with Gerald. I don't want any interaction with Gerald at all. Um, so that's what's going on with me on a personal level. Is I'm fighting the good fight against the roaches, and I'm taking much less Valium and paying for it. And apparently, adult acne is a thing. And I talked to my brother yesterday. He called me up in the afternoon. And he got like a new cell phone, and he's so fucking irritating. He's trying to talk to me, right? I keep telling him, man, you can't set the phone down because you don't know where the mic is on your phone, so I can't hear you. So you're cutting in and out, or after a while, I just pretended like I, you know, had the fake conversation you have where you don't really want to listen to a person, but you're just doing the yeah, I know, uh huh. Because I kept telling him like you can't set the phone down because you're setting it on. He's like, I had it resting on my chest. I just laid it down. I'm like, well, you're blocking the microphone. I can't hear you. It's like after a while, I just gave up. It's like, oh. But he calls me and he wakes me up and he tells me about the bullshit where they're breaking into the Capitol building and all that, and how conveniently, for whatever reason, I don't understand the end game behind it, unless the dude really is crazy. But Trump holds a rally in D.C. and it's like, I think, I don't know if it's in D.C., so it probably isn't within walking distance of the Capitol building. So he gets these people all lathered up, and I was going to sit through to see exactly what he said. I was going to actually sit through the Trump rally because it's on YouTube, and I'm like, what is that, like 3 hours? I'm like, I don't think so. But anyways, he got them all lathered up, and so a bunch of them, I guess like 10,000 of them, attacked the Capitol building, as you all saw, of course, on the news and whatnot. Even anybody from another country, it's worldwide news, making us look like we're a third world country attacking ourselves. So um, I don't even know if that made any sense. I just want to throw third world country out there. Uh, anyways, so yeah, we reminisced. I was like, do you remember when you called me up over 9/11? It woke me up. I was like, I woke up and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't even know what was going on. This reminds me of that. And he goes, no, he remembered exactly. He was like, I called you and woke you up, and you were like, what movie is that? He said, I thought it was from a movie. He was talking about planes flying into buildings, and I was like, what movie are you talking about? Because back then, he would be the one that was always talking about TV shows. Because if I remember correctly, he didn't have no life back then in 2001. So I'm so used to him talking about TVs and movies. I thought when he was talking about 9/11, he was talking about a movie. Uh, but it did remind me of that. It's like I had no idea any of that shit was going on. And then I turned on and watched, well, like 3:30 in the afternoon. I turned on some kind of live streaming thing. And they had Biden's speech, which I think started at 4:06 or something like that, about the whole craziness. And I had just listened to, you know how they overturned they had to run off elections for the Senate. So now there's like, um, the Republicans lost that, and Mitch McConnell is no longer the majority leader in the Senate. So the Democrats have control of the Senate, like by a slim 51-50 margin or something like that. But anyways, so as far as what that means for us common folk is that they're probably gonna they were talking even before the riots took place and whatnot. They were talking about putting up another relief aid bill as like the first order of business. They were like that's like part of the platform of the running platform of the two senators in Georgia. So I was like, okay, whatever. You know, it's not going to happen for a while, but that probably will happen. People were even discussing, do they mean like 2,000, like 2,000 on top of the 600, or they mean like an additional 1,400? They're already talking about like a done deal. But I kind of figured that riot would fizzle out. I mean, once night fell, they got a curfew, so they brought in like I think National Guard and SWAT teams and pushed everybody the hell out of there. And people got the message like now people are going to start getting hurt. There was 4 deaths in the riots. One of them was actually a cop shooting a woman. If I got this right, you can correct me if I'm wrong. And the 3 other deaths were like health related and happened outside. That's the way I heard it when I was looking at the news this morning. So, you know, all things considered, I mean, you got people breaking into the Capitol building and some hilarious video of a guy stealing a podium and, like, stopping and for the camera, and you can see the guy's face and everything. It's like my brother said about the COVID situation is like, if you get caught on camera doing something bad and you're not wearing a mask during the coronavirus, you got to build an excuse to wear a mask. It used to be like if you went around with a mask on, people thought you were kind of suspicious, but not anymore. And there's idiots like getting photographed. So this rioter's, it's a ridiculous picture. You may have seen it, but this rioter's like carrying away a podium with a dual microphone set up on it. And I don't know, like for a keepsake. I don't know. They're looting the Capitol building. I mean, I don't know, but they got a picture of him, so I expect. I think they said 52 arrests. It was like between 50 and 60. I don't remember the exact number. And like I said, 4 deaths. So it wasn't as bad as the other riots that we've seen that were BLM related. There's a lot more deaths. I don't know what the death toll was for those things, but they didn't burn the place to the ground. At least, like they burnt the Wendy's to the ground, where the drunk driver guy was passed out in the drive-through lane. Um, so you know, that's what I was thinking. I was talking to my brother about it while it was happening. He was like, "There's a lot of people there with backpacks and stuff." And I started speculating about, like, I wonder what's in the backpacks. I'm like, what do these people hope to accomplish by doing this? It's like, if they do break in there and take over the building, it's like they're going to be in a siege situation. He's like, maybe the backpacks got some food. Both agreed that the food wasn't going to last them very long. And then I started thinking about, like, do they got like stores of food in the Capitol building? They have like a deluxe fancy refrigerator with like the presidential seal on it and stuff. And, will all those rioter people be sitting in there eating caviar and fancy chocolates? I mean, I don't know. It's like, what is your end game here? Do you really, you're not thinking this out. They got whipped up. That's called demagoguery. It's a funny word, but a demagogue is somebody who plays on people's emotions in order to manipulate them into doing things from a position of leadership. So that was demagoguery we saw yesterday. That was a demagogue. And the result of a demagogue is he gets his emotional, not well out, often violent things. You know, It's like, I don't know about you or me, but I do not want to be caught on camera, not only carrying a podium, but they have people on camera actually smashing windows with a riot shield and breaking into the Capitol building. I do not want to be that guy. Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of funny. People were joking about it. Like when Trump was running, they were like, "I'm kind of like." There was several stand-up comedians that were like, "Oh, kind of just want to see what happens because you know it's going to be interesting." And oh, it's been interesting, all right. It's been a real interesting 4 years here. Uh, yeah, that's why I wanted them to win because I knew this kind of shit would happen. I did not know it would happen this degree, but I was like, this guy will never ever admit defeat. Love him, hate him, whatever. You have to agree, the guy will never admit defeat or wrongdoing. Period. So I think, well, I know that I don't. I think it's true, but I heard a news person say that even before the election results came in, he like said if he loses, he'll know that it's a rigged election. It's like, really? You know that ahead of time? And then there were, of course, the phone calls um, to the Georgia governor where he was like saying stuff about the voting machines and the guts of the voting machines being removed. The insides, I think he called them. He's just sniffing around for any It's like, dude, man, it really is true what the Buddhists say that desire is a bucket with a hole in it. It's like, how much do you need? How much of a life do you need? You're 70 fucking odd years old, and it's like you're rich, you've been wealthy, you've been the center of attention, you've been a TV star, you've been the president. It's not never enough, man. What the fuck? Just yeah, just go. Right off into the sunset. You could have been like, you know, uh, there. Your presidency is forever going to be remembered by those images. You know, let's see, what was yesterday, the 6th? Uh, yeah, 1/6 doesn't have the 9/11 type ring to it. But yeah, people are going to remember 1/6 because that's the first time anything like that's happened since the Civil War days. Um, you know, the Biden used the word sedition, which I got to be honest, bookish as I am kind of foggy on the meaning of. I think it means treason, but he called the rioters a mob and called the actions um, ones of people committing sedition. He used the word sedition. I almost said seditious, but that just doesn't even sound good. But yeah, I'm kind of iffy on the meaning of that word. So, and I'm as usual. Yeah, when you're suffering, it's kind of hard to think straight anyway. So I might actually know the meaning of that word. But currently, no, I don't know the meaning. I always look stuff up, but I'm not going to do it now. I can look it up. Uh, but yeah, he dropped the S bomb, sedition on those people, and I'm like, I know it's very serious, and I know it's probably treason. Insurrection is where you actually, mount a physical effort to overthrow the government. Like, I think that word applies too, even though that was awful lame attempt at it. I actually watched a video because people were worried about a presidential coup, and there are, people had all these crazy fears and worries. We don't know anything about that, do we? And so people were worried about like Trump becoming a dictator or a despot or like because it's up to the president to step down. He can fight it through legal channels and stuff, but he has to concede. Now, like this motherfucker ain't never gonna concede. It ain't gonna happen. But he has to concede. So I actually watched a guy who was an expert on it talking about what has to occur in order for him to make a coup. And he's like, you'd have to have the support of generals behind him. It always comes down to this. It always comes down to force. It's like he'd have to have a support of top generals and have some of the military behind him. A bunch of yahoos waving flags and get whipped up into a frenzy. I mean, a few of them had guns, but uh, yeah, they just let them do their thing and kind of blow off steam. They handled it like they should have, really. I mean, I'm like, where are the rubber bullets? Where's the tear gas? And my brother was like, oh, they shot tear gas at him. I'm like, I didn't see that video yet, but I was like, yeah, this isn't China, so we just can't start shooting people. Even if they're attacking the Capitol building, we just can't start shooting people. You know, so they handled it right. They let it kind of burn out, and then after the curfew came into effect and night fell, I checked in about 11:30, and they said that the streets were cleared, and I was like, oh, okay. They brought out actual shows of force because you don't want. They're American citizens. They may be idiots, but they're American idiots. There are idiots. So we don't want to hurt them. We want them to like blow the fucking steam off and break some shit and go back home to their families and be idiots for their families. We don't want. So I think they handled it right by a lot of people are like, why are they shooting these people? And I'm like, well, you can't do that. It's gonna. Not only is it bad to hurt people, believe it or not, it's just bad to hurt people, but you're just gonna drum up more support for Trump if you brutally crush. You know, it's also gonna make um, the transfer of power worse, and it's gonna make your party look bad to people that are taking power if like you're killing American citizens. So there was a whole big thing that me and my brother were hashing out, and I'm like, yeah, they're handling this right. I was like, I take it back about the rubber bullets and stuff. Just let them break some shit, make sure nobody gets hurt. And all the congressional people were all locked up in whatever their safe rooms or shelters or whatever system they got. I was just glad no fires were set. That I didn't hear about any fires anyway. That's what I thought. I thought somebody would just try to, that's what I thought. Like somebody had a backpack with a few liters of petrol with some gasoline in it, and just try to burn the fucking whole building down. Which it's not actually as crazy as it sounds. If you would have told me a couple of days ago, like, yeah, you're gonna see video of people breaking down the window to the Capitol building and jumping through the window, I'd be like, what? Yeah. So that happened, but I'm glad they didn't go around killing people. They killed one person. I'm not sure this. I haven't heard the circumstances yet concerning it. I know it was a woman, and I heard different things about it. I'll have to research that when I get out of here and find out. I know she was inside the Capitol building when she was shot. I'm not sure why she was shot. You know, if she had a firearm on her, if somebody else had a firearm, and whoever did the shooting got spooked. I don't know any of the details of what happened. Just that somebody's dead and got shot. So in the year 2020, this has happened how many times now? Where there's been riots and people shot to death. So you know, um, you know, as far as my situation, I don't know what to do. Like I tried to sit, like I got all my cards set up on this table in the living room, and it actually, I swear to God, like hurt worse sitting. Like my legs, it was like harder on my legs. I was in a lot of pain. It's like, wow, it hurts worse sitting than just walking around. Like this whole thing is not good. But I was trying to sort through my cards and get them boxed up and put away. And I do have to confess that I spent $230 more on cards, which, yeah, I had the $600 stimulus check, but I was actually uh, checking to see how much these cards go for of this one dude, and I was like, you know, this auction just popped up and caught my eye. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I blew $230. Now that's a lot of money, and it's hard to make that money back when you got people like cutting into your profits, and you have to pay for postage and all that. But it's one of them deals where it could pay off handsomely, or I could break even. It's not really a risk. It's just why you hate selling cards. You can't even sit at a table and sort them out. So why are you trying to buy? Why are you buying more cards that you have to sell? I mean, why are you trying? Yeah. So yeah, not particularly smart, but I had an impulsive moment. And I got like $2,800 in the bank and some petty cash around here, and it's like $70. That's what I'm gonna send the aid worker out with today. I'm gonna do laundry myself. What just a few items, but I had some things I needed washed, and I was like, well, I'll have them do that on, um, what is it, Thursday? I'll have them do that on Tuesday. And they called me up, and they're like, she's not gonna show up until 1:45, and due to my um, volume situation, my sleep is weird. So I'm like, no. I'm like, I'll just cancel. I'll just cancel. I don't want to go. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm talking really not loud now to cover up the fact that I'm passing wind. So it's like I'm even like thinking while I'm doing it is like, am I gonna have to go back and listen to this to see if I want to put it on camera or not? It's like, yeah, come on, dude. You're laying here shirtless with fresh acne wounds on your face, man. Your pride is gone. You have no more pride left. And yeah, it's kind of silly. Because I think one end of me is actually closer to the microphone on the computer than the other. So yeah. Anyways, oh, what a train wreck, man. Yeah, what a train wreck of a life and a train wreck of a video. Um, but yeah, just in case people don't think I'm still serious about quitting benzodiazepines, diazepams. Benzodiazepines. I am serious about it. It's just my situation is not conducive to accomplishing that particular feat. If you read the Ashton manual, it says like you have to have all your ducks in a row. It says you need emotional support. We can cross that off the list. You need to be psychologically ready. Cross that off the list. It's like it said to even attempt to get off of benzodiazepines after prolonged use, you need to have all your ducks in a row, and you need emotional support to get everything straight. It's like what I have done is the opposite of emotional support. Is I've kicked motherfuckers that are a pain in the ass to the curb. And been like, this is a survival situation. I don't need the goddamn aggravation. That's the reason why I'm not calling the person that's got my food card and bothering them about it. It's like, I don't need no abuse. I don't need aggravation. I don't need any more family drama. So instead of looking for support, I cut out stress by kicking people to the curb. It's like if you don't get it, you don't get it. I just don't like it that if I explain to people, look, if you step on my toe, it hurts my toe. Please don't step on my toe. And then they step on your toe again. They don't believe, either they're selfish or they're forgetful or whatever, but I got treated like garbage when I was on Xanax and trying to get off of Xanax. I mean, straight up garbage. And it's and I told my sister, it's like, you do that kind of shit, you know, it's like, if you hurt me emotionally, you hurt me physically. And it's like, I can't make them understand it. So fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. Leave me alone. You're better off without people like that. So it's like I started to get aggravation from the people that I moved into this city for, and I'm like, fuck all you people too, and your dogs. Fuck all of you. And I'm not looking for emotional support at this point. I'm just looking to uh, not be, not have people make things more difficult for me than they already are. Because it's like you could, it's like the food card thing, which I know this is redundant, but you could help me out so easy, and you won't help me out. And it's like, yeah, it's a perfect recipe for resentment too. If you're like, I'm like the other day, I was like still thinking of ways to help my brother out, man. It's like, well, I have thoughts like, um, I don't really need this money on this card. I should just give it the card to my brother and just tell him to spend the money and forget the whole fucking idea. Because he's really poor. I mean, he's poorer than I am, but he's also kind of mean to me in that way, which he probably doesn't think of it as being mean to me. But if you can help somebody and you don't help them, and they're supposed to be a loved one, that's the same motherfucking thing as being mean to them in my book. If it's not putting you out any, so I don't understand that, but yeah, it's like I got, let's see, I don't know how many relationships that I got where I like haven't talked to the people for like a very long time, and some of it is like peripheral damage. It's like I don't really have anything against my brother-in-law except for that he's very annoying. But I mean, I lived with the dude and was friends with him, and I spent a lot of time with him. And like when my sister broke up with him temporarily, I would go over to his house and make sure he had food to eat and shit like that. And I'm not trying to paint myself as some kind of saint or nothing like that. That's just, that's just really probably a sign of me having low self-esteem. It's like that was where my esteem come from. It's like, look, I'm a good guy. I help people out. I do things for people. So it's probably coming from a sick place, actually, and not an emotionally healthy place. And so that's just, yeah, it's not trying to paint myself as better than I am or anything like that. That's just a fact. But like when I said, say anything that I have done for my family, it's just a fact. So it's very painful when you don't get it back and you don't understand it. It's like I could understand it if it takes a person out of their comfort zone. Like, I wouldn't ask my brother to like do something that would mess with his PTSD, but that's not going to mess with his PTSD. He just don't want to do it. And it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like, doesn't make any sense. It's like, I just bought food. I'm like, yeah, but food is not eternal. You will need food at some point in the future, unless you decide to go on a hunger fast and die, or go on a hunger strike and die. You're going to need food at some point. It's like, I don't even think I got that far. I said, well, your food isn't going to last forever. And he just didn't want to hear it, didn't want to deal with it. And then I got mad. But yeah, didn't really want to get into these stupid resentments that you've heard me talk about before. But that stuff does run around my mind because I would like to fix all that, but you can't fix people. You can't change people, and if they're going to be mean to you and keep being mean to you, stay the fuck away from them. I mean, if you're at somebody else's house and their dog don't like you and bites you, how many times do you have to get bit to take the fucking hint? That's just that dog. It's nature. It don't like you and it's gonna bite you. And like, I tried. You know, I had that ridiculous thing where I'm waiting for a medical diagnosis to see if I have rheumatoid arthritis. And my sister hangs up on me instead of like, hanging out with me on the phone, and I'm actually got in call waiting, and I'm waiting for the doctor to call me up to tell me if I'm got a debilitating disease on top of my already debilitating diseases, and she hangs up on me for not listening to her. And you know, so I had to talk with her and smooth that out and explain to her like you shouldn't do that kind of stuff because that CRPS, you mess with that when you do that, when you mess with my head like that, you mess with my emotions, you mess with my health, and then it happens all over again, some crazy bullshit like that. And it's like, well, it's just gonna keep happening. It's like the person's either too sick in the head, too self-involved, or thinks that you know they're you're trying to limit their freedom or whatever. No, it's like you say what you want to, just like don't be mean to me. That's all I'm asking, not to be mean to me. Um, I don't know. That's just the way I think of it. As I think of it as like your family being mean to you. If they could help you and it would cause them no inconvenience, and they don't help you, it's like I don't understand that. And I was thinking the other day, I was like, I forget what specific things I was thinking. Or, nah, I think I like, my brother's always complaining about shit, but he don't want to do anything about the shit he's complaining about. Like, you probably know people like that. They just enjoy complaining about stuff and, like, don't try to, like, help me out and fix things. I like complaining. I want things to be all fucked up. I want that stone in my shoe poking me between my metatarsals because, god damn it, I enjoy that shit. And so don't try to take that stone out of my shoe. What's wrong with you? So, like with my brother, um, he's complaining because he can't find any TV shows to watch. And I'm like, well, you gave me like your Prime, was it Amazon Prime um, password, so I got Netflix. Like I can even tell you which shows you'll like and which shows you won't like. So I watch a lot of Netflix, so you can have my Netflix password. And like, I send it to him, and he won't use it and stuff. And it's like, why am I even bother like thinking about him? Like trying to help him out. It's just like let him. He was complaining about something else. It's just like that time I was smart. I just let him talk it out and let him complain and didn't say like, well, you could do this. If you don't like peanut butter and jelly, you might just like peanut butter. So instead of just keep eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, just lay off the jelly, son. It's like that level of insanity. And yeah, I, I don't get it. Um, I mean, I was raised around crazy people, and I don't get it. Like, I'm not unfamiliar with crazy. I think I was explaining to somebody on the internet. It's like they were talking about, mm, oh, they were analyzing fiction, and I'm like, well, whenever I watch fiction, I give the writers a long leash because they're like analyzing how somebody would act or somebody's motivations, and I'm like, well, you apparently were not raised in a dysfunctional household full of crazy people because you wouldn't be asking these questions. You're thinking like a sane person. You gotta think like an insane person. It's like I can usually do that. And like I can usually like work it around in my head and be like, why would this person want to be like this? And sometimes you do just have to chalk it up to crazy and be like, okay, that's just you're not gonna figure it out. Like you're not gonna figure out the food thing. It's not gonna happen. Uh, you know, it's like my niece that one time floored me because I was trying to figure out my dad, and she was like, "Do you ever think that maybe he just hates you?" I'm like, "Why would anybody hate me?" That's what I said to myself. I'm like, I don't feel particularly. I was like, why would he hate me? And it's like, I never thought like that before. And it's like, I guess it's possible that he could hate me and resent me. I don't know, for any goddamn reason that I don't understand. And it kind of opened up my thinking a little bit on the matter. But it occurred to her, and it didn't occur to me. And then, I didn't ask myself, like, well, if you could think me hateable, why do you think me hateable? I didn't ask her, like, what do you what do you think it is? I didn't explore it or anything like that. Like, so you think there's things that about me that are hateable? I was like, yeah, could you expand on that? Because you come up with this idea, and I have a feeling it didn't come up out of nowhere. It's like, so there must be something about me that's hateable. Yeah, that's when she said that, maybe he just hates you. I was trying to figure out why he would act like he acts, and I just always chalked it up to like general meanness and insanity. Yeah, I'm just rambling on here, just doing a stream of consciousness type of thing. I'm sure it's very annoying. Why does that happen? Does that happen to you where you get like, I guess it's from sugar. Oh, it's from the sugar in the coffee. Okay, I answered my own question. What the hell is this? Why does this happen? Stuff gets stuck on the edge of your coffee cup. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm just wasting time. Um, I'm gonna have to go to the doctor. I don't want to really like stop taking half the pills, but yeah, my stress level's pretty bad. My thinking has probably been displayed during this video. I never know for sure until I go back and actually look at it. Probably muddled. My general line of patter is probably incoherent and scattershot, and yeah, I may not be making all that much sense. I don't really know. That's what used to be comforting about making these videos to me, is like, when I was in the Xanax times when it was really bad. This stuff's got a longer half life. Xanax withdrawal is a whole other matter. I mean, they're both benzodiazepines. They both do that whole bonding thing that fucks you up to and messes with your GABA uptake. But this is a whole other deal than Xanax. So I would feel actually like I was totally out of my mind, like not making any sense at all. And since I live alone and I don't have any sane people to talk to, except for maybe one guy, and I don't talk to him that much, it's like I would feel insane, and it would help me out to more or less talk to myself and then play it back and say, okay, this guy, he's actually making sense here. You were making sense. You just felt crazy. So, yeah. The fact that I was putting them up for people to see was kind of incidental to the whole thing. I figured, like, if I'm going to go through this weird self analysis monologue, whatever the hell these things are, I might as well put them up and maybe a few people will watch them and get something out of them. And a lot of those people are gone now because I've been around for over 2 years now on the internet as a thorn in y'all's side. And but I did have a lot of people tell me that, like, you helped keep me company for like when I was going through like a bad time, or I had people tell me that, yeah, basically tell me I was boring as fuck, but they're like, yeah, I use your videos to go to sleep too. And they do fucking make me sleepy too sometimes. It's like when I go and play them back to see whatever bullshit I said, it's like I'll fall asleep on myself. And that one time I started laughing because I was like, it was actually the time that I wanted to go to sleep, but I wasn't sleepy. And I was watching a football game or whatever, and I'm like, well, I'll go back over that video I made, and I'll watch that. I might as well look at that and sort of proofread it, proof listen. And wasn't too long until I felt like really sleepy. And I'm like, started laughing. Like, yeah, you're boring, man. Yeah, Yeah, but this isn't exactly a James Bond kind of life, man. I'm battling roaches. I could be like the guy that I killed 7 with one blow because he swatted houseflies in some sort of old fable or old story. I don't know where that comes from. Might be Jack the Giant Killer or some really old story where the guy says he killed 7 at one blow, and he meant he swatted 7 flies with a towel or something like that. And yeah, I was doing that. That probably came to mind because I was doing that with a roach the other day, trying to smack it with a rag, like boys flicking each other in the locker room or whatever. I'm trying to flick this freaking roach with a wash rag, and it wasn't working. I was, yeah. So that's just my life is extremely boring, and just the way it is. Uh, Believe me, I fucking hate it. But these these can make good sleeping pills. So in other words, I'm glad to feel useful in some capacity, even if it's only to a few people. That makes me feel better. I've had. Let's see if I can try that sentence again. I have had people in the past tell me like, okay, you helped me out. It's nice to have somebody that understands or somebody that's willing to go there as far as like, I don't know what to fucking do. Because a lot of times I'm like, I don't know what to fucking do. And that's kind of like where I'm at right now. It's like, I know I need to go to the doctor, but my head ain't on fucking straight. And I don't really know what to do. You know, um, my body just not working right. And being threatened with like losing my mobility and all that shit. Like I said, I don't know what the deal is with my knee. I just know it does not like to be walked on. So I'm going to cause myself a bunch of pain when I get off of here, washing out some clothes by hand because I need some clothes. And I'm going to send the aid worker instead of to the laundromat, which takes a very long time. I got to get that prescription, and I got to pick up some coffee creamer and some other like things. I got to send them to do on a shopping trip. I got to get that prescription picked up. And it's rolling around towards 8 o'clock in the morning now. So I'll check the site. But last time I don't know what time I woke up, but I checked the site as soon as I woke up, and they were like, they're processing stuff for the 7th, and it said they were processing my melatonin. They didn't say they were processing the diazepam. So I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to call these people again. And I think I can get it refilled. I can do it automated wise. If it doesn't show up on the computer, I can go through automated channels and punch in the RX number over the phone on the bottle, and do it that way. But I'm sure I've already overstayed my welcome, though I seem to get more views the longer that I talk, which is really weird. I don't, I don't understand that. So maybe people are like, what? He expects me to go to sleep with a 26-minute video? He went the hour. Got to give me at least an hour of boringness for me to go to sleep, man. Come on. Um, yeah. But yeah, I am kind of like I've been like, I've just not been trying enough. And it's like, I don't know if how much fight I got left in me to try, but I have to. Don't have any choices. Things are getting really bad. So when I talk to the person on the phone at 10 a.m., I'll be like, I guess all I got to do is ask them about this life care place, and they'll call for me. I don't even have to call them. They'll call for me, and they call you and try to set up an appointment. I think it goes like that. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever go back to normal where I had all that patience and didn't really care about things. Nothing really bothered me. You know, It's like I think um, I think I had like a my cousin asked this other person if I was excited over something, and they were like, "You do know who we're talking about, right? This is Steve. You know, get excited over shit." You know, and now I'm like a ball of irritability all the time. I don't have any patience for any of my hobbies, and I don't like selling cards, and I bought more cards that I have to sell. I did like um, dig up some photos on my phone, so I'm gonna run an experimental auction to see like if I can print out a shipping label and how that'll work out and everything, and buy the postage over the computer, and then like get rid of these cards, the ones that I can sell. You know, some of them you have to sit on and sell them at the right time. Some of them I have doesn't matter what time I sell them at because the people are retired. Um, like I was really, you know, hindsight's 2020, and I made money off of the deal anyway. But I sold this card for like $26 of the guy who ended up being the rookie of the year. But um, I seen the guy play, and I was like, yeah, you know, this guy's really good. You know, I didn't wait long enough. His cards were already hiking up, and I was like, wish I had that card now. I don't know what it would sell for, but it would be a lot. I sold it for right around $30. I think did I say 26? I think add in the postage. I have to pay the postage anyway, so I probably netted $20 off it or something like that. But the point is, I bought it for nothing because the guy had not started his first pro game yet. But anyways, that's getting into boring. Well, boring is good, right? That's getting into stuff that no sane person would care about. But I'm going to put up a. The point is, it's the same guy, and I'm going to put up an experimental auction and see how it goes buying postage over the computer instead of just sending the person, an aid worker, to um, the post office for me to buy the postage there and see. You know, I've never printed out a shipping label before and done it that way, so yeah, got to do something. I'm just sitting around doing nothing. So, and plus, I have a lot of stuff to sell. I might as well get started. Yeah, Grand Canyon wasn't dug in a day, and I'm a mountain of cards I have to get rid of. So um, there's that. So that's the news. Got screwed on the roach bait because I bought it from Ohio, but it's coming from California. Uh, okay, I was gonna do a fast breakdown, but my brain won't let me because it's yeah, it's been so deprived. Okay, so I talked about the roaches. I talked about the volume situation. I talked about that I have to talk to somebody about a doctor's appointment at 10 a.m. And I got, of course, always that stuff's always running around in my brain, all the family entanglements and whatnot. Talked about that mess for the billionth boring ass time. And I talked a lot about, um, you know, that little adventure that happened on Capitol Hill. Um, but yeah, I was just gonna fucking run down this stuff that's going on in my life currently, such as it is, and I can't do it because benzo deprivation has this effect on you when you cut your pills in half, which I managed to do even though I didn't count them out right because I got irritated and just quit because I lost count and I wasn't gonna put you through that. So instead, I would just talk about boring ass stuff that I've talked about a million times and stupid family relationships and how my family, you know, I sound like whine about how my family is like crazy and like the same old shit about the food card and how like I could have $1,000 and they know I'm poor, but it's too much bother. You know, they have to spend money on food anyway, and they got my fucking food card, and they're not paying me back the money that they owe me anyway, and it's the same old fucking, you know, it's the same thing. I'm caught in a loop, and I can't get any resolution to it because I'm dealing with fucking insane people. And it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna chase. I check all my messages. I check all my text messages, and this person just not contacting me, and I'm not gonna chase them down. I know they're in like, I can't go into the details, but I know they're in like a high stress situation, and it's like I just don't want to deal with it. It's like, yeah, it's not. I don't want. I just don't want to deal with it. So today I'm gonna spend money on food, even though I have a food card with $1,000 that somebody has. Because I won't call them. I suppose I should suck it up and be like, okay, go ahead and abuse me. Here, go ahead, take your shot. It's weird when you have to be afraid of your family. I've always been afraid of my family, though. Man, I had a scary father, a scary older brother, and crazy ass people. Yeah, I've always been afraid of my family. So it's not new. It's just the fear is taking a different form, less corporeal, less the fear of corporal punishment, and more ethereal, the fear of mental disembowelment, mental torture, because I got to deal with nonsense. It's like I still can't get over that nonsense with that $300. It's like I got your fucking money, and then I'm going to this other person, and they bring up the number 300, and then like they pay the person 200, so I have a big fight over $100, taking up all my fucking time. They don't talk to me for like 18 days over $100. It's like this is the kind of nonsense that should not exist, and I should not have to put up with. And it's like, am I going to get drawn into some more stupidity? Is this person going to like vent on me because I know they're having a rough time currently? They bought a money pit of a fucking house. It's not my fault, but shit travels downhill. And it's like, yeah, my ear will be any port in a storm. And yeah, I will get ear fucked. I'm sorry. Oh man. Yeah, I'm trying to keep my sanity. I don't know how it's working. Yeah, probably not too well. I'm gonna watch this back and yeah, and be embarrassed, and then I'll put it up and watch it at the same time. But really, if another purpose like these videos could serve, it's like when shit happens to you and you're trying your best and you're doing what you can do and shit don't work out, it's like that's nothing to be embarrassed about. You know, it's like, yeah, okay, you're having like issues and pass a win on camera and stuff. It's like that's really not your fault. It's your body's like racked up. If your body's racked up, if, you got mental issues because of the life you've had. A lot of times that shit's not your fault, so you don't got nothing to be embarrassed about. So I'm not gonna. I'm still gonna put this up, and I'm not gonna give a shit because why should I be embarrassed? You know, and like I said, the stuff that I say that I've done, I'm not trying to make myself look like a good dude. It just comes up because I am a good dude. So it just comes up in the natural course of talking about things that have happened in the past. Where I did go over and check on my brother-in-law because he was not doing well when my sister separated from him, and I'd bring food over there and I'd sit and visit with him because a lot of people can't handle being alone, and he was just in a big house by himself. And he confided in me that the hardest part is not being able to sleep because I've been sleeping beside the same woman for um, I don't know 20 years at that point, and he's like, it's I can't get to sleep. I don't think he was drinking himself to sleep then. He might have been, but he's like, I can't get to sleep because I'm used to her being there in the bed with me, you know. And so yeah. Now meanwhile, like, let's fast forward a little bit. I'm like, yeah, man. It's like I'm in a bad way. I'm fucked up. I'm in cold turkey. I don't have any Xanax. And he's like, can you call somebody else? I mean, isn't there somebody closer? I'm kind of in the middle of something. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm working on my motorcycle. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm really glad I invested in you. But you should never think about good deeds like as an investment. But yeah, so yeah, so I guess the overall point I'm trying to make here is like you shouldn't be embarrassed if you're like in a bad situation or in a bad way or like have physical or emotional or mental issues that have occurred and you didn't cause them. So, you know, I'm not going to be ashamed of myself and my uh, windiness out of both ends. I refuse to be ashamed. I won't like it. I'll watch this back and I'll be like, oh, you're such an unrelenting fool. But yeah, but no, you can't go through life being ashamed of yourself. And yeah, you got to give yourself props. You got to love yourself first before you can love other people. They always say, right? Well, you got to like yourself and be able to get along with yourself. That's like one of the most important things in life. Is like you have to find something you like about yourself, and you have to be able to get along with yourself. Because guess what? You're stuck with yourself. You know, you can take a bunch of drugs and drink a bunch to either suppress or go off in la la land, but you can run, but you can't hide. So you're better off just like making peace with yourself and be like, yeah, that wasn't a cool thing that I did, or give yourself props if you're a nice person or if you did good things. And here's to you. And yeah, hopefully the universe will smile kindly upon you, but don't count on it for being a good person. But in the meantime, uh, being a good person is its own reward. It allows you to be at peace and enjoy a movie that I saw before, which I just watched, A Simple Plan. It's a real cheerful movie, but if you've never seen it, um, but yeah, in the end, I guess I can look back. I hope to be able to look back at this collection of train wreck videos that I've left for anybody to watch, and not that many people watch them, of course, never more than 50 nowadays, and be like, well, that was me then. Look, I overcame. And or if I don't make it out, I will still have done something good by helping people kill some time. Watching me be foolish. The court gesture has his value, even if you can't enunciate the word gesture. The court gesture. It's my court gesture. Yeah, even though like because since I've been on here, so many bad things have happened to me. Which, by the way, maybe the internet is cursed. It's like maybe that's my problem. Is like, yeah, it seems like all the stuff that's happened to me since I've been doing these videos, man. Losing all those teeth, having to deal with that pocket maniac guy, having family issues, kicking people to the curb, the boat nonsense, the drugs, the getting sprayed with roach poison, the screw ups with the benzodiazepines, and all the stuff that I'm forgetting. It's like all the nonsense that has happened in the last 2 years. Um, Stampy moving in, making this place completely unlivable, and I already had conflicts with the landlord, but now I got like a rampaging brontosaurus walking above me, and now the floorboards are rattling, as you've probably heard in a couple of these videos, from the relentless onslaught of her size 11 feet. I don't know what size her feet are. And I busted up my flow. I just wanted to have a flow going there, but I busted it up by admitting to the fact that I don't know, I'm not, and my brain will kick into overdrive, and I'm like, I don't want him to think I'm a fish foot fetishist. I messed that all up. See, fetish, foot fetish. If you really would do a fancy spoonerism, it would be a fish fetishism. Can't talk right. But that all started because I can't talk right, and it reminded me, like, all the teeth that I have lost in the last 2 years. God, I think eight. I don't even fucking know. And you know what? It, I can't enunciate words in the same way that I used to, and that started because I called myself a court gesture. I want to say jester. So maybe I can work on that, but more of my teeth will fall out. It won't matter anyway. It's like with the partial plate thing. I'm like, why am I bothering getting used to this partial plate? It's like more of my teeth are gonna fall out. I'll just have to make another partial plate. As long as I can chew food, it's like, why am I torturing myself with this? I don't care what I look like. I care about the fact that I need to be able to take care of myself and walk. Um, you know, see, this is really a mess now because I just wanted to like end it on that hopeful note, like give you a compliment, say that you're a good person and that you have nothing to be ashamed of, and do that whole Mr. Rogers affirmation thing to you like you were children, But really, uh, we're all children. We all carry that child around. That a lot of us are wounded children, but we all carry that child around inside that we were, whether we want to admit it or not. So Mr. Rogers was on to something there. But yeah, I was trying to be like, give your daily affirmations and stuff, and talk about like shame is just so horribly destructive. So I'm not going to be ashamed of who I am or what I look like. I had somebody, like I said, call me out the other day because I just left a video of mine up, and I was like, well, here's what it got to be like in the meth house. And they were like, yeah, you're just some shirtless, I commented on my appearance and whatnot. I'm like, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I didn't put myself in this bed. This is just where I ended up, you know. And it's like, yeah, life has just been not particularly kind to me, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. Uh, you know, Also, I've made some bad decisions, like I said. Like, if I could go back in time, I'd get they're just two teeth, but boy, they make such a big difference. I'd go back and say, yeah, here's all my money, fix those two teeth. At the time, I was sure that I was going to be moving out of here. So that's what started me down that road and wrecked my pat on the back for you. Is I started, you know, I mispronounced that word. And it went right to the teeth, and then it went like I would have them teeth. And I think about that shit too. Like if I would have had some support, some of that familiar, that good old familial support, it's like that means I probably could have took better care of myself. I did go through a time where I had no one to blame but me, you know, for my behavior. It's like, yeah, it was rough, and I was going through a rough time and stuff because of, my mom having dementia and me having to support my brother, which, again, that's the gratitude of family for you. There was nobody else there listening to him, giving me all the horrifying breakdown. Nobody else there wanted to talk to him for like 2.5, 3 hours. I even had my older sister. I shouldn't even commit this on tape, but fuck it. She was like, I go crazy if I talk to him on the phone for that long. I'm like, well, that's what you got to do. I mean, he's there, like taking care of y'all's mom. If he needs to talk for 2 hours, that's a lot better than what he has to do as a caregiver. You know, not to mention the emotional abuse that people with dementia put you through. Well, just the physical horror of it. You know, and I'm going to spare you some of the things that are popping up in my head that he was telling me. It's like when he was going through that. Yeah, he brought like a bazooka to a fist fight at one time when he hit me with his hammer blow. And it's like, yeah, if I repeat it, it will stick in my head further. But I've gone this far, and if you watch this video this long, I guess I owe it to you. But yeah, he was like, I said something that irritated me. He was like, I'm sorry, maybe I'm just a little irritable because I had to clean shit out of my mom's vagina today. And I was like, Jesus, dude, you know, I was just like, okay, man, I know what you're going through. You don't have to fucking, that's the bottom line to the whole thing. Is like, that's the kind of horror that he was facing, and you do what you got to do when somebody's going through something like that. You know, I couldn't do it. I couldn't fucking handle that. You know, and that opened the Pandora's box of bad fucking memories. If I only wouldn't have mispronounced jester, I think I said it right that time. There's certain words I cannot say, and the gum in my mouth probably doesn't help. There's certain words I cannot say because of my lack of teeth. Jester. Maybe I have to use exaggerated mouth motions to do that. But yeah. Um, so you try not to put the events together, you know. You try not to be too resentful. It's like, okay, I'm there for you. Like on call 24/7. If you need to talk to me for 2 hours. If I'm jacking off, I'll put down my fucking dick and pick up the phone and talk to you. Okay? If we're gonna be bottom line and stuff. Because you need somebody to talk to. You're going through something fucking horrible, which, you know. Um, yeah, by the way, that's another thing I try not to be too resentful about is when I hear about the little petty, the favors they go out of the way to do for my younger brother that they won't do for me. They'll go way out of their way to help my younger brother, but they won't spend money off of a food card and turn it into cash for me when they have to spend money on food anyway. And like, I try not to be too resentful about that shit too. But you know, I guess nobody wanted her put in a home. I don't know how much solace she got. I guess she recognized some of us some of the time from, you know, she got to die in her own house, more or less. I mean, she had to go to the hospital, and then she died in the hospital, but she wasn't put in a nursing home, and she was taken care of in the house that she had lived in for a billion years, and, you know, got to more or less live out the rest of her days in her own house. But I don't think she knew where she was half the time anyway. She was communicative a lot of the time, to where she wouldn't say anything. She was just suffering. And yeah, this went down a serious fucking rabbit hole, as they say now. Which yeah, I'm sorry I used that phrase. You hear it so much now. But yeah, there's just, I have to live with a lot of darkness, like I suppose many of y'all have to, and lots of times it leaks out. You keep it like back here somewhere, and then it leaps into the front of your brain, and you're like, get the fuck back there. It's like, yeah, that happened. I've dealt with that. I don't want to need to think about that anymore. Okay, I don't need to think about stuff that happened way long ago, and then it's like wants to seep into your forebrain. And that's the thing about like the teeth thing. It's so constant because I feel it every second of every waking hour. So there's no escaping it. It's like other mistakes that I've made. Um, it's not like, that's like chopping off a finger or something. You know, when you lose teeth in the front of your mouth like that, it's different than even losing teeth on the side of your head. When it's in the front of your mouth and the tip of your tongue's hitting it constantly, and you're feeling that constantly. It's yeah, you might as well just chop off one of your fingers. It's like you got a constant reminder all the time of some mistake you've made. But yeah, that was the mistake I made. Is like, I was saving up money at the time, and I'm like, I was faced with that choice: do I get to move out of here, or do I get to have teeth? I broke it down for myself. more important for me to get out of here than to have a couple of those teeth. Those teeth are a bad investment. I'll end up losing them anyway. That was my thinking. It's like, so I'd rather have the money. And yeah, I've got that little nagging voice that's always right, telling me that I am being tedious and tiresome. So I will leave you, and I'm sorry that I fucked up your daily affirmation of that you're a good person. As far as I know, you're a good person. So I'll leave you with that. So go about your day and have a good day. And yeah, spread that goodness out in the world. Goodbye.